What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It is Thursday over here. Bitcoin, as we speak, is at about 34K right now. Had a bit of a pullback earlier today, but currently it is right at about that 34K area. Down over 1% today. Not too much of a pullback right now. Market has been going crazy in here with crypto, despite that the US stock market is basically pulling back very hard. So we're seeing a little bit of an anomaly here. So going to be taking a look into what is going on in this Bitcoin market, because it is the main driver here for the crypto markets. If Bitcoin continues going up or is on an uptrend, chances are your altcoins are going up with it. However, if Bitcoin takes a dive, of course, chances are your altcoins are going to be taking a dive as well. Very big chances, okay? So very important to be paying attention to Bitcoin still as the first thing. That is my thought process. As always, if you guys have been following me, it's going to be Bitcoin first and then altcoin setups second. Now, the main topics for this post is going to be about Veracity, Moon River, and XEN token. See what has changed in these markets since the last time I've talked about it. Let's see some upside and downside price targets, as well as some key price levels that these coins need to break in order to go either direction. Now, none of what I'm saying here is financial advice, of course. It's purely my opinions and speculations. I am not a financial advisor, nor am I an elite trader of any sort, even though I am a profitable trader who's been able to keep most of my profits during the last bear markets. But I'm looking to crush it here for the next bull cycle. So if you guys feel the same way, if you guys are feeling pumped on this Thursday, hit that like, hit that subscribe button. Let's get right into it. All right. So we do have Bitcoin right now, currently 34K area. We do have, it is down over 1% today, okay? But you know what my focus here is that Bitcoin has broken out of this very long-term resistance, 32K area. Been talking about this for quite a few months now, okay? However, you know, Bitcoin has been underneath this resistance since mid last year, since May of last year. This is the weekly time frame. Okay, so Bitcoin finally broke out of this. So it's looking very bullish to me for Bitcoin. So also the crypto markets as a whole. Okay, so measure move out of this cup and handle here, which is this huge pattern with the resistance to be about 32K area again, is going to be about just right underneath 50K here, okay? Of course, this is still a sub-pattern of this bigger breakout of this huge falling wedge, okay? Talked about this as well. Basically, this falling wedge is the bear market of last year. Broke out of this, but, you know, nothing has really happened for quite some time, but the measure move out of this falling wedge is about 55K area. Now, you know, measure moves should be taken with a grain of salt. It really just depends on the type of market that Bitcoin or your altcoins are in, or whatever for that, you know, sense, right? Because, you know, these trading concepts not only applies to crypto, but applies to stocks, right? I've traded stocks with these TAs as well, so it works. So, I mean, that's basically what I can say, you know, crypto and stocks. Maybe it works for other things as well. I'm pretty sure, but, you know, I'm just speaking from experience, cryptos and stocks. Okay. Now, 55K measure move right here out of this bigger falling wedge pattern. So let's see if Bitcoin can actually come up here to about 50K area and then continue upwards. Okay. I know there's going to be a lot of bulls out there who's going to say, you know, Bitcoin could go a lot higher, but I'm really just looking at it from this chart point of view, okay? Because that is how I trade. That's how I operate, okay? So let's go ahead and take a look into a lower time frame here for Bitcoin. Okay, I'm going to spend a little bit more time on Bitcoin because it is the driver of the markets. I keep saying it because it is true. Now, cup and handle here on this 4-hour time frame, right? It has came down to the 4-hour 21 SMA. Now the neckline for this cup and handle is going to be about 35 point. I'm just gonna say 35.2K area just for even sake. It has come down to the 4-hour 21 SMA, which is the blue line here. So let's see if this cup and handle can actually hold. Okay, I mentioned this yesterday. If it does, which cup and handles usually break to the upside. Okay, if it breaks out, then we have a measure move of about 37.4K area here. Okay, however, if it breaks down, then we're going to come back here and rechart this and see what else we're looking at instead. But it's not going to be looking good for the altcoins, at least in the short term. Just in the very short term, if Bitcoin pulls back. Okay, now, like I said, on the longer time frame, Bitcoin and the crypto markets still looks very bullish, right? Because it has broken out of that cup and handle pattern. So that is, that is on the longer time frame, right? On the weekly time frame. Even though, on this shorter time frame here, if it pulls back, then you could expect to see a pullback out of the altcoins as well. Now, the altcoins have been going pretty crazy, okay, this week and last week in terms of, being bullish, right? Let me just put this into context, right, for you guys, okay? The total 3 chart, which is the total altcoin markets, excluding Ethereum, right? As you guys can see, we have, for the past 2 weeks here, it has went from about 317 billion all the way up to about 361 billion. So that is, that's quite a bit of a pump here for total altcoin market cap. Okay, this is something to just be putting into context. This is not a coin I usually pay attention to because I know altcoins mainly follow Bitcoin, right? But I'm just putting it into context, right? So we had a pretty good bullish 2 weeks so far. And based on my trades, I can tell you about the same. I've been trading leverage longs for the past 2 weeks as well. And my leverage trades has been working especially well over the past 2 weeks. Okay. Now let's go ahead and take a look into VRA and see what has gone on in these markets. VRA here, I've been talking about this since last time, right? It has broken out of this on this weekly time frame, okay? Broken out of this falling wedge pattern. Measure move is about 1.2, I'm just going to say 1.2 cents area, okay? And then broke out and, has done nothing for quite some time, even has gone down for a few months, okay? That's a pretty hard hold, right? Now let's take a look, but it finally did something in the past month or so. And let's take a look into the daily time frame here and see if we can get any kind of clues on the lower time frame. Because, if I want to get a clue on a good idea on what's happening on the current time frame, I'll look into a lower time frame and see if we are looking at a bullish pattern or a bearish pattern. So that will give me more of an idea of what's likelier to play out, right? Now, daily time frame here, VRA has broken out of this falling wedge pattern. Measure move was about 0.63 cents area. Now price action has gone as far up as about 0.6 cents so far. Okay, so let's take a look into the 4-hour time frame, see if we can get any clues on what's happening on this daily time frame. Okay, 4-hour time frame here, there is a rising channel which usually break to the downside. Okay, it could still break upwards, but the probabilities are with the bears that this breaks down. If it breaks down, we get a measure move. Let's just say if it breaks down in a couple of 4-hour candles later, okay? Then we get a measure move of a pullback down to about 0.5 I'm just gonna say 0.49 cent area. Okay. So let's see if this bearish pattern plays out, or will the bulls actually continue pushing upwards against its probabilities. Let's take a look into some key price levels. I'm going to point out some key price levels for you guys, right? This is not going to be the complete list, right? But I'm going to point out some key ones. It looks like you're above all your daily moving averages. So your daily 21 SMA, about 0.5 cents area, the blue line. Daily 200 SMA, 0.49 cent area. Daily 50 SMA, 0.47 cent area, all very close to each other. So those are going to be your moving averages that are going to be acting as supports. You guys can repeat the same exercise for the 3-day, weekly, monthly. Those are the bigger time frames I consider. Or and as well, you can go and check whatever time frames you guys are also interested in as well. Okay, so that's basically what I'm looking at. Let's see where this price action might break. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look into some resistances. I don't think we have any. Oh, here we go. 3-day 200 SMA resistance at about 0.66 cent area. Okay, that's the orange line here. Okay, that is one key resistance that I'm pointing out here. Of course, it is not a complete list. You guys can find the resistances based on what I'm doing here on your own. Let's also take a look into some previous trading history here as resistance. As you guys can see here on this 3-day time frame, right? This price action has been rejected here at about 0.7 cents, 0.71 cents area based on these 2 3-day candles here. Right, I think this would be appropriate because this is it's kind of a new trend, right? So I am going to be pointing out more recent data, but on this 3-day time frame is still what I consider to be pretty big time frame. Okay, on the daily time frame to the monthly time frame, what I usually focus on. Now, 0.71, about that 0.7 cents area, you could expect resistance coming from just based on these 2 3-day candles here. If I was a trader. And I am, so I am going to be, and if I was in this position, I would be, taking profits over here because that's basically what it is. These candle wicks basically tells you that sellers have sold at these levels, right? So that is just what I'm doing. It's not financial advice. That's purely my style of trading, right? You guys can be holders. You guys can be longer term traders. That is just what I'm doing. Right now, that's how I see it. Now let's go ahead and go to XEN. XEN here, okay, has broken out of this longer this falling wedge here. Okay, broke out. Measure move was about, I'm just gonna say the last 3 digits of this number here, 710 area. Okay, because I'm not gonna talk about all the decimals ahead of it. Now, price action broke out and went up to about 800 area. Okay, so completely destroyed this measured target. So some things are different in this market, right? It's a little more bullish than at least earlier this year, right? Where you see measured targets don't get met or, breakouts not doing anything at all after breaking out, right? Now, let's take a look into the 4-hour time frame, see if we can get any clues on what this could be happening because this price action did have a recent breakout, right? So I think we talked about this possible cup and handle scenario last time. That basically is done because it looks like it has it has been invalidated. That's basically all I have to say. Okay, 4-hour time frame here. Okay, this looks like, I'm just going to give you my best guess. Okay, this looks like a cup and handle that could be forming, right? Of course, you're still missing. It would look like a cup and handle. This is just my best guess. It's not completed, right? It will look like a cup and handle if XEN comes back up here to retest about that 800 area. And then before breaking out, right? You want to see a retest up here at least twice. That would form the cup. And then the second one would be the handle, right? So that's just my best guess on what this could be happening. Let's take a look into even the hourly time frame, see if we can get any clues on if this could be breaking upwards or downwards, at least in the very short term. Okay, could this be a falling wedge? This is a falling wedge, which usually break to the upside, and it did. Okay, something like this, right? Falling channel, falling wedge. They usually break to the upside anyways. Measure move. Measure move would be about 680 area. Okay, so let's see if this price action continues upwards. Okay, of course, also got to be mindful of breakdowns as well, because you don't just want to be too optimistic, right? Even in bull markets, you could still see some pretty steep drops. Okay, so you definitely want to be realistic. Let's take a look into some key price levels to be paying attention to here. I think this is pretty new trend. So let's see, your daily moving averages are basically all underneath the price action right now at about 460, which is your daily 50 SMA, 465, the gray line. Blue line here, which is your daily 21 SMA at about 430. Okay, so let's go ahead and go to even a smaller time frame here. Your hourly 21 SMA, it's about 640 area, very short term moving average. 4 hour time frame, 4 hour 21, 645 as well. And of course, if you want to continue seeing more upside beyond 800, you're gonna have to break out of 800, obviously. Okay, and break out of a possible cup and handle. Let's go ahead and move on to MOVR. All right, so MOVR here, talked about this on this weekly time frame here. Okay, this huge falling wedge pattern here, right? Measure move is going to be about $10 area. Now it does look like we have a breakout here. Okay, if we even just move the measurement here, it basically broke out right at the expected breakout point. I'm not going to take credit for it because I was just guessing, based on how reasonable the price action is along the pattern, but it looks like it did break out as we expected to the basically the weekly candle here. Now let's see. Let's take a look into the daily time frame. See if we can get any clues on what's going on here on this daily time frame. Let's move this along. Still not enough data on this daily time frame here to really chart. 4 hour time frame. All right. On this 4 hour time frame, it looks like you are. Could this actually hold? No, it looks like you have a breakdown of a rising wedge. Okay. Now rising wedges typically do break down. Measure move from this is going to be it's not going to be as steep. It's going to take you back to about $3.95 area, which is basically where your 4 hour 200 SMA is, the orange line. So let's see if it completely breaks down and go towards that measure target and get a bounce. Okay. It is possible as well that price action continues pulling down as going down beyond the measure target as well. So something to be keeping in mind. Okay. Now let's see. Take a look into some key price levels to be paying attention to. Let's even take a look on the hourly time frame, right? Can we get any clues? Is this a falling wedge indicating a possible reversal? All right, this could be a falling wedge. I mean, with the second candle there being very close to the bottom trend line, so not exactly validated falling wedge, but we have a pretty good form of it. So let's see if this would be a reversal against this breakdown. Okay. So that's basically what I'm looking at for MOVR. Let's take a look into some key price levels to be paying attention to. Okay, daily 50 SMA, you have daily 50 SMA about $3.95 area, daily 21 SMA about $3.90 area, the blue line there, daily 200 SMA about $5.40 area coming down. Okay, so that's basically some key price levels to be paying attention to as supports and resistances. Okay, that's basically what I'm looking at for MOVR. Now, what I am currently doing, I'm sure you guys have a pretty good idea because I keep mentioning it. I am a leverage trader, so I trade much more on the shorter term. Even though I do look for a longer term Bitcoin trend. So I've been trading mainly leverage longs, but that is not to say I would not go ahead and go short, especially if I see a pretty good setup such that, if these coins have been pumping very hard and they're at resistance with a bearish pattern. Okay, so what I usually do is, I go ahead and chart as many altcoins as possible. So, I can have some coins on rotation, right? I can basically just look down the list and see what are some really good setups to trade, right? So basically what you guys are seeing here, I chart the altcoins, right? And then I'll compare setups to see if I want to go into a certain setup. That's basically how I trade. I used to be a spot, I just hold spot long. But right now I am making more results with leverage trading. So, that's basically what I'm doing and what I have been doing for the past 2 months now. Okay. You guys let me know what you guys are doing. Are you guys holding spot longs? Are you guys trading? What are you guys holding? What are you guys trading? How is market trading you? Thank you very much, and I'll see you guys in the next one.